What's up, guys? Gamer Explosions here, and today I'm going to be talking about my top 5 games of the 2000s. Before I do get started on the video and start talking about it, I want to say that I wanted to do the games of the decade, even though I was like 9 months late, but I don't care. I'm going to do it. And I texted my uncle that I was going to do it, and he said I should do like the games of the 2000s. I was just like, I can. The games I picked are just from through the 2010s to 2020. So yeah, not a ton of stuff, but hey, in the middle of these videos, I'll give you some honorable mentions. So yeah, let's get to it. Luigi's Mansion 3 is pretty much one of my favorite threequels of the Luigi's Mansion series. Luigi's Mansion 3 is the first game I have ever played in my life. I have never played the original, and until this week I played the remake, and then come on. And then I beat both of these games, and so I love this game, I do. But since I beat it, it's hard to come back to this game. So I put this one as my number 5. But maybe one day when I feel like it, I might beat it again. But for right now, I don't feel like doing it. I have collected all the boos, and I even beat the boss. I collected every gem that is there. I 100% completed it, basically. So yeah. So there's no reason coming back to this game for a year. So that's why I put this as my number 1 pick. New Super Mario Bros. U is probably one of my favorite games of the decade. Now, the first game I have ever owned when I was a kid was Super Mario Bros. DS, and I fell in love with the game. And spoilers, it is on the honorable mentions, and I will say. So yeah, the story is basically the same thing as every game in the Super Mario franchise. New Super Mario Bros. Franchise. But I will say this game is really fun. I enjoyed it. I have spent so many hours on it, just trying to explore some new stuff, get all the big star coins, and I managed to beat this game in one day, and I was very impressed. That means I have stayed up late at night just playing this game. And my dad did not give a crap that day. So I was able to play it, and I enjoyed it. And, oh yeah, I actually got this game on my 15th birthday. And also, when on my 15th birthday, I picked up the 2 games. Crash Bandicoot Insane Trilogy for the Switch, and this game. And basically, the first game I ever played was Crash Insane Trilogy because I was excited to play it because it's the same Crash games on HD, and then I gave this one a try after I beat the first. Actually, no, when I beat the first world in Crash 1, and I will say I haven't put this game down at all. Like I said, I spent so long just playing this game, and I enjoyed it, and I loved it. So yeah, my only complaint is that the game is the exact same as the one on the Wii. There's nothing new here besides some new power-ups, which is pretty cool, but it's nothing new, like I said. And basically, that all the new Super Mario franchise has been completely. It's becoming completely bland now because every game is the same. But hey, maybe one day Nintendo will make a comeback with a new Super Mario Bros. Game that is actually better than not copying the same games as the other two games, like Super Mario Bros. New Super Mario Bros. 2, exact same game as Super Mario Bros. DS, where you gotta collect all the coins, and in this game Mario Bros. U, exact same game as the Wii, Super Mario Bros. Wii. And I will say, I have never played Super Mario Bros. Wii. And I heard really good things about the game, and I just never got around to try it. But maybe one day I'll buy it, one day at like a GameStop or a Game Exchange, and I'll give it a try. So yeah, this game lands at my number 4 spot. Let's get to another one. Yep. I imagine that y'all were thinking that I was gonna pick a Sonic game for this collection. For this top 5. I had this game in most of my top 5s, but that's not important right now. So yeah, here it is on this list: Sonic Generations. Now, Sonic Generations, as y'all know it, is my number 1 favorite Sonic game I have ever played. I'm not gonna explain why, because it's basically the first game I ever owned on my PlayStation 3. We're not counting Sonic Mega. We're not counting Sonic Ultimate Genesis Collection. That doesn't count. So yeah, I got this game for Christmas from my mom, and after unwrapping all my presents, I picked this game was the last gift I ever gotten. Now after I opened it and got overexcited and picked up all my trash, I instantly went in my room and just played it. And I beat it in one day as well, because this game can literally be beaten in 1 hour. And I freaking loved how everything just looks in this game. It's so beautiful. And it takes back from everything the other Sonics did. There were some games I did not enjoy when I was little, and that was Sonic 06 and Sonic and the Secret Rings, and those games were garbage. But after that, I got this game for Christmas, and I loved it. And y'all know this was my number 1 pick of my favorite Sonic games. And top 5 best Sonic games. Y'all know I picked this game as my number 1, and I'm glad I did. So yeah, this is my number 3 spot in this list. I'm not picking this as my number 1 because I have a game that I really enjoyed that recently came as my number 1 pick, and y'all know later. So yeah, on to the next game. I cannot view the game right now because this happened to me. Stop downloading update data. So yeah, I'm gonna explain about this game anyway. Assassin's Creed Black Flag was the first Assassin's Creed game I ever played, and I spent 3 weeks with no rest. It's just playing it. Like, every time I'm like, no, I didn't mean no rest. I go to sleep every time. But, like, every morning I get up, I turn on my PlayStation, and I put Assassin's Creed Black Flag in, and just start playing and start exploring the world. And do some missions. I don't do a lot. I just do some, but most of the time I just screw around in this world I really enjoyed. It's so fun. But it got me into other entries that I play, like the like Assassin's Creed Ezio Trilogy and the original Assassin's Creed. But I never really enjoyed Ezio Trilogy as much. And Assassin's Creed 1 is really good, but Assassin's Creed Black Flag just wins it. And so that's why it lays on my number 1 list. I mean, no, number 2 list. So yeah, before we get to number 1, I would like to do some honorable mentions. So yeah, enjoy that. Alright, that's all the honorable mentions that I have to show you. Now, let's get to my number 1 game of the 2000s. So yeah, obviously some people would pick Breath of the Wild as their number 1 Zelda game. And I am one of them. And, dude, I freaking love this game. Even though it may not be one of my favorites, I'll probably pick this as my number 2. And y'all might be outraged about what I have to pick, but it is my opinion. I would say my number 1 favorite was my number 1 favorite Zelda game is Twilight Princess, because I grew up with that one the most. That's not true. I grew up with Ocarina of Time, but I loved Twilight Princess the most, and when the Switch, since the Switch came out and I saw the trailer, I wasn't all too hyped up for this game, because back then I wasn't a huge fan of these Zelda games, and I never liked it. Like, I could never get past the second dungeon in Ocarina of Time, or ever get past in the first dungeon in Twilight Princess, which is worse. But ever since this game came out, and I waited like 3 years to get this game, yes, unbelievable. This is the first, I mean, it's not true, I actually beat Ocarina of Time through an emulator, but I played that with a guide throughout the entire game, and I had like all hearts 100% completed with a guide, which is not very good for me. But since I got this game, this was the very first game I actually beat without a guide. It was so simple to follow, and I love the overworld. I love the overworld experience of this place. Hyrule is just an amazing place just to roam around, screw around, just do whatever you want. And I would say, Zelda would be pretty much the same as GTA, but they are completely different things besides being an open world. And I would say you gotta give GTA 5 and Zelda Breath of the Wild a try. Both games are great, but I'm not a GTA fan, so this one will do. I used to play GTA 4 back in the day, but my mom was super strict about GTA games, so she didn't let me play it, and so I never got around with them. But this game will forever be one of my favorites, and it has a special place in my heart. And that's actually something. That's actually one thing. I got this game when I was spending the 2 weeks with my mom at my hometown, and there has been a lot of stuff going on with my family, and when I pick up this game, I have fallen to addict to it, and I spent a long time playing this game, and my uncle has been going through a lot of stuff. Me and my uncle has been. My grandma and grandpa passed. My grandma's parents has passed away, so it was a tough time for him and me. So whenever I'm sad, I pop this game in and it gives me joy. So yeah, this is why this will be placed at my number 1 spot. So yeah, that is my top 5 games of the 2000s. I hope y'all enjoyed this video. If y'all did, leave a like down below. And I would like to hear your thoughts of what is your games of the 2000s. You know, this video was supposed to be the games of the decade, but since my uncle gave me the idea of the 2000s, I'm just like, yeah, why not? So yeah, I hope y'all enjoyed this video. If y'all did, leave a like down below. Hope y'all subscribe for my channel, and I'll see y'all later. Peace out, people.